All right, we are reviewing for Chapter 7. We are in 4th hour. There's 4th hour. Say hello. No? Okay. This should not take long. This is a 3-section test, and I would say, I haven't looked at the actual test, but the majority of it is vocab, so you really need to probably make sure that you've got that nailed down. The test is Tuesday. All of your study guides, hello, one person watching. All your there's only 2 remotes, so that's like 50%. That's a good rate. Your study guides are all due the day of the test, which is Tuesday. These people will play the review game on Monday. You guys will just have to study or whatever. But here we go. We are on Chapter 7, Section 1. Number 2, what was the name of our first Constitution? Rowan. Rowan said the Articles of Confederation. And she's right. I did have a student in here studying on my prep the other day, and I played one of these videos on the TV for her so she could review for the test, and I realized that they can't hear anything that you say at all. So, and then that I hate my own voice, and it makes me want to stab a pin in my ears when I'm listening to it, but that's okay. So I'll repeat everything they say. Yes, the Articles of Confederation, number 2. Number 3, what were 2 problems with the Articles of Confederation? Why didn't it work, in other words? What were the problems? Rowan. Imig, tell me what she said because I can't hear it all. Say it again. It wasn't long enough? It was long enough. Yes. It didn't address slavery. That's a good one. Yeah. It was just kind of like, couldn't regulate trade. Couldn't raise money. Didn't have a president. There's 4. You need 2. What ordinance set up procedures for surveying and selling Western lands? Those of you that have this answer written down, you probably have not all the same answer because there are 2 possible answers. I'll take either one of them, is my point. Yes? The Ordinance of 1785. The other one is, who has the other one? Anybody? Rhymes with Schmorschmest? That's right, Northwest Ordinance. Schmorschmest is not a word. Don't put that on the test. Number 5, what were some of the countries, our countries, the United States, financial problems after the Revolutionary War? Yes.
They were selling debt. They couldn't pay their soldiers.
Huge debt, couldn't pay army guys. That's right. That's 1. There is an S on, yes. The money, the word is depreciated, but what he said is exactly right. The money became almost worthless. Remember in the book it said it took 140 something American dollars to buy 1 Spanish silver dollar. Essays, you at home can email them to me if you want me to check them. You here in person can bring them to me lunch today, breakfast Monday, lunch Monday, during PE Monday, and I'll look those over. I've not decided which one's going to be on the test yet. Chapter 7, Section 2. Number 2, name 2 problems farmers were having during this time. Rowan. She said they couldn't sell their crops, their food, which is like the whole thing. Yes, that's a very huge problem. Gage. They owed money, like tax collectors were trying to collect money and they didn't use money. They would like barter for stuff, trade. So yes, debt and unable to sell their crops are the 2 main ones we're looking for. Number 3, name 3 people who helped in calling for or in writing a new constitution. Basically, any of the 3 guys that said we need a new constitution, went to the Constitutional Convention, helped write the Constitution. Any of the 3 founding fathers, more or less. This is an easy one. Yeah. Al Hamilton. We're friends. I can call him Al. Just kidding. He's dead. That's one. Here's a pro tip. 3 and 4, if you just name the answer to number 4, you can double dip for number 3 here because he's also one of the ones at number 3. Yeah. James Madison was a person who helped in calling for or in writing a new constitution, and he's also, number 4, the father of the Constitution. So that leaves one more. Yes. George Washington. Excuse me. Yeah, correct. There are more. Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Gouverneur Morris, if you want to write Gouverneur because it sounds like Goober. That's fine. Number 4 we just said is James Madison, of course. Number 5. What were the names of the 2 plans submitted for how to set up our government? Our Congress, more specifically. One plan said more people in a state, they should get more votes. And one plan said every state should have equal amount of votes. What were the names of those 2 plans? Or one of the 2? I'll give you a hint. They're the names of states. Yes. The Virginia plan is the one where the bigger states wanted more people. The one where each state, yes, the New Jersey plan, named after the state of New Jersey, sometimes known as the armpit of America. Number 6, what was the compromise that was decided upon to deal with the issue of counting slaves for population? Yes. The 3/5 compromise. They counted slaves as 3/5. Section 3. Number 2. What were 2 documents, 2 other writings that the Constitution borrowed ideas from? We named the guys. The guys that wrote them were named Locke and Montesquieu. What were their essays or books, or what were they called? I found it. It's on 208 if you want to look it up. Yes, what was one? The Magna Carta. Oh, that's one. I wasn't even thinking about that one. But yes, that's absolutely correct. The English Bill of Rights would be another one now that I think about that, now that you said that. I was thinking about John Locke's essay, 2 Treatises of Civil Government, or Montesquieu's The Spirit of Law. So there's 4, you need 2. Magna Carta, English Bill of Rights, 2 treatises of civil government, and The Spirit of Laws. I probably wouldn't do the 2 treatises of civil government. That's hard to remember. I would probably write Magna Carta.
Was the Parliament one?
Parliament is the name of Congress in England. It's not a writing.
Right.
It's also, anyway, a band, a funk band from the 70s. Number 3, what was the name of the group that was in favor, Gage, of ratifying the Constitution? Federalist. What was the name of the group that was against the yes? Anti-Federalist. Their name literally means against the Federalists, so that should be easy to remember. And it's also written down in number 4, so you could have just borrowed that answer. What were 2 issues that anti-Federalists had with the Constitution? Gage. Yeah, go ahead. I can't hear you. The American what? I can't hear him. Okay, no, not exactly. What are problems anti-federalists? Why don't they want to pass the Constitution? Go ahead. They thought the government was going to be too strong. That's a good one. Yes. They didn't want to be pushed around like they were under King George. They didn't think, here's another one, our Constitution protected personal freedoms enough, which is why they got the Bill of Rights added. All those are fine. Number 5, what was the first state to approve the Constitution? On December 7th, 1787, became the first state to approve the Constitution. I found it. Yes, Delaware. That is the number one interesting fact about Delaware. It's also probably the only interesting fact about Delaware. Oh, here's a second interesting fact about Delaware. They have the highest average internet speeds in America. That's all I've got.
How the heck do you know that?
Because I talked trash about Delaware in 8th grade once, and I was like, I'm being mean. I'm going to look up some interesting things about Delaware to let you know that it's actually probably pretty cool. And then I tried to look it up, and I was like, no, I'm wrong. It sucks. Yeah, there's nothing. I looked up like a list of fun facts about Delaware, and like the first one was the internet thing, and then number 2 was like it used to have high school used to have the record for tallest Lego tower, but they don't anymore. And like I was like, okay, well that's terrible. They used to have the world's biggest pumpkin chucking festival, but they had to cancel it because of insurance purposes. That was number 3, and I was like, okay, this is not really good. All right, here we go. Number 6. What 2 states, then the 2 largest? They're not the 2 largest anymore, of course. We're holding up approving the Constitution. In other words, we have the 9 votes, but without these 2 people on board, like the Lakers, if LeBron James and Anthony Davis aren't on board, it's not going to work, even though the rest of the Lakers are still there, you know? So what were the 2 states? Yes. New York and Virginia. Those were the 2 biggest states at the time. Again, essays, if you guys want me to check them, they got to be at least 3 sentences. Email them in. These people are going to finish their study guides here today. Everybody have a good weekend. I'll see you. Study on Friday. It's a school day, not an off day. Bye, YouTubers.